All righty, welcome back. This is the second episode. We're gonna try to clean some things up. We're learning as we go. Once again, I'm your co-host Kevin and my other co-host Trevor. Welcome to the Lock and Key Experiment. We're excited that we had some views. We had some subscribers, so things are doing well for us, Mr. Trevor.
Yes, they are.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Our picks that went this week.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
You were better than me. We both agree upon that. But I think we did about as well as any of the dumbass talking heads that were out there on any of your pre-football game pick'em guys. So
remember what we always say: just because you play the sport, that doesn't mean you know the sport. And if you don't play the sport, you can still know the sport. I mean, I played football in high school, and that's about my level. But you know what? I can still watch a game and pick stuff out. And
and
sometimes I don't know the crap that they do. But you know what?
Let's talk about the one game that I was pulling for, which was Miami. Let's start by saying that they had Buffalo as a 13.5-point favorite in that game, and Miami almost won. So I won some money in that game, just so you know. Walked away with a little folding money. I was pretty happy.
Little cheddar.
Then I lost my ass on the Tampa Bay and Dallas game, who I didn't even see that kind of game going down. So, you win some, you lose some. He giveth and then he taketh away. So
You're right.
Moving into divisional round weekend after what was, there were a couple of good games there, right? I believe there were a couple of
all of them were good except for the last one. And I only stayed watching it because, like a dumbass, I turned the Jacksonville Chargers game off.
Yeah.
And then they come back and win. I'm like, no. Even in the fourth quarter, you and I were texting back and forth the fourth quarter. Hey, this shit ain't over with yet. Tom's got a touchdown. I mean, if they would have made that 2-point conversion, they were within 2 scores. I'm like, oh, hey, this I've seen this rodeo before. But then that was the only one that really, the San Francisco game was, after you see the score, it was kind of out of place. But, San Francisco really didn't truly put it away until the fourth quarter. Okay.
True.
But not being a huge Niners fan, but you know what? I want to see
Brock
Mr.
Purdy.
Fucking irrelevant win the damn Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Who doesn't want that, man? Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl. I mean, look, he's got the name of a football player, Brock, right? I mean, he's Brock and he's pretty. There's two different.
That boy's Purdy. That boy's Purdy. He's a quarterback.
I tell you what, I'm rooting for him. And I guess on the flip side of that, it's good to be, being an NFC East guy. I hate the fact that I'm not there. I hate the fact that our team isn't there. But the fact that we still have 3 teams in it.
If your team would have played Sam Howell 2 weeks before, your ass might have been in there.
This ain't college, so there ain't no conference rooting or none of that in this shit. I hate Philly. I hate Cowboys more than I hate anybody else. Out of all of them, I would say I like the Giants the most. I hope the Giants the best, but I don't even want them in the Super Bowl. So I'm rooting for San Francisco.
The odds are a NFC East team is going to be in the Super Bowl.
Well, let's hope not, because I don't want to deal with the fan bases of at least 2 of them.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, like I told you we were talking about earlier, Dallas wins this weekend, they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Unless it's Dallas and the Giants, and then they might give it to the Giants and say, well, we got to have that large media in there. But then again, it's the Cowboys, so, but I think, to me, the best, I think right now in the NFC East or the NFC, okay, to me, okay, yes, on paper, and yes, you can say on the field, and you can say, well, Trevor, you're a dumbass. You never played. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, okay? I think right now it's San Francisco's 1, okay? Dallas is 2. The Giants are a close 3, and Philadelphia in 4th.
I totally disagree with you there.
But this is why I say that, okay? This is why I say that. Is if you go back, okay, the last 3 games each one of those teams has played, who's going up, who's going down, okay?
Philly didn't play.
What? I'm talking about the last 3 games they played, not the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
And look, the Niners have gone up, the Cowboys have gone up, the Giants have gone up, even though I think they lost to the Eagles the last game of the season, but they weren't playing, they were playing their scrubs. And Philadelphia was playing their starters and still barely beat them, okay? Jalen Hurts, I still don't think is 100%, okay? Even if he is, okay, look, man, you know how I am. I'm a Sooner fan through and through in college football, okay? Don't get me wrong. Jalen Hurts is a phenomenal quarterback and a phenomenal athlete. But I watched what he does when he plays against a team that is equal caliber or better than him. Look, the Eagles finished, what, 3rd place last year in the NFC East? So they were playing a third place schedule. Yes, that's only 3 games. But still, they had an easy schedule, okay?
Well, everybody in the NFC East had an easy schedule. I mean, you look at Dallas. Dallas had at the beginning of the season, Dallas had the weakest strength of schedule than any other team in the NFL. They were 32 out of 32. We were 31.
But the thing is, okay, it's still, I don't think they've played a team that has defenses like the 3 teams that are in the playoffs right now.
First of all, there's nobody in the playoffs on the NFC side of the house that has a defense like San Francisco. You can put Dallas.
Oh, no.
You can put Dallas into the conversation, but maybe only at linebacker. You cannot compare.
Dallas doesn't have a defense. Dallas has Micah Parsons.
That's it. And, he might be more than enough. That's a draft pick that I wish. We had the opportunity to take him. We were sitting there at 9, and Ron Rivera saw he had that stupid personnel issue or whatever that happened to him while he was there. And Ron is a character guy and said, I'm going. And don't get me wrong, I think our guy from Kentucky, Jameson, or what, I can't remember what it is. Yeah, that's his name. Is going to be a good linebacker. But do I think he's going to be a perennial all pro like Micah Parsons is going to be for the next 10 years? No.
Well, you're also talking to a guy whose team took I can't even remember his name, dude, for the Music City Miracle. I can't even. I'm drawing a blank on who caught the damn football. We took him over freaking Randy Moss. Look at all the stats on No, the wide receiver, Dyson, Kevin Dyson.
Kevin Dyson.
Hey, we took Dyson over Randy Moss. Okay, really? And his character issues. Okay,
this is kind of off subject. I know you saw the Mandalorian halftime premiere.
Yes, I did.
What did you think?
I like it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again and watch the breakdown. But it's gonna be pretty interesting. There's some things that it's gonna make us mad because it's gonna lead into Ahsoka, and Ahsoka doesn't come out till next year. So
it doesn't come out until next year. Ahsoka doesn't.
Yeah, so I'm more interested in Ahsoka, and I know a lot of this is gonna lead into that. So it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good. So
It looks like it's
but
going to be pretty good.
that's a conversation for another podcast.
Another episode.
Because you know me, I can talk football for hours. I can talk Star Wars for hours.
Yeah.
And so, but getting back to me right now, I think the best team. This I don't want to say the best team. The scariest team to me right now playing is the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay. So then
That is the scariest
who
team
is
on both sides.
Who is the scariest team on the AFC side?
Well, I can tell you who it's not. It's not Buffalo. Buffalo doesn't scare me. Buffalo hasn't scared me in about 7 or 8 weeks. And I'm not saying that they're not good. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just that Josh Allen is playing good. That defense is a bend but don't break, but then give up a lot of points. I mean, again, not taking anything away from Miami, okay? But if Waddell and Hill and some of those guys could catch some footballs,
Yeah.
we'd be talking about the Miami Dolphins in the
We would be
playoffs.
because
Waddle
dropped two
right.
that were just so crucial, and they were both big plays. If he makes those catches, we're talking about a totally different game. It's just like Tyreek Hill on that third down in, was it like 3rd and 8 at coming down to the I think it was like 7-8 minutes left in the game, and they're like 3rd and 8 or something like that, driving. He hits Tyreek Hill in stride running, and Tyreek just drops it. And it's like, dude, that killed me. Because I told Justice, I said, that's ball game right there. Because it was so bad. Then there was that other throw that Thompson made to Gillislee. How do you say his name? Gillislee?
Gilsecki, the tight end.
Gilsecki, the tight end. He's running down the middle on a seam route. He's inside. He's got a defender. He's bracket coverage because he's got a defender in trail, and then he's got a safety coming over the top, and then there's a linebacker underneath, and that ball was perfectly thrown, and that linebacker got in his line of sight, and he lost it. That ball went right through his hands. I mean, it went right through here. If he makes that grab, that's a first down, maybe more yards. I mean, there were many of play that they should have had that could have won them the game. Absolutely.
The thing is, to where the Niners on the NFC side is the best team playing. They're the hottest team right now because they've won like 6 games in a row. Okay.
Buffalo's won 7.
Yeah, but still, Buffalo, everybody knows about Buffalo, okay? But the thing is, right now, the hottest team in the NFC or the AFC right now is Jacksonville, okay? But again, there's a difference in winning games against Houston, winning games against the Titans, and winning the games against the Chargers than trying to go to Kansas City and beating the Chiefs, okay?
I'm not a huge Kurt Herbstreit fan, or not Kurt Herbstreit, Calvin Cowherd. He said something very interesting today. Look at
because he's a fucking moron.
Actually, I think what he said is legitimate. All the coaches that are currently coaching the teams that are left, except for one, are what? If you had to guess. They are all offensive-minded coaches. Only one is left that is a defensive-minded coach. The rest of these teams that are left. So what does that tell you when you think about it? You start going down the list of all of these defensive-minded coaches and what they did to their teams and what happened to their teams toward the end. I'll give you mine as a prime example. Ron Rivera, defensive-minded coach. Bam. The Jets, defensive-minded coach. Bam. You just keep going down that list. Detroit, I believe, is what's his name, a defensive-minded coach? The Detroit guy?
Campbell was a tight end.
So he's an offensive guy. All right. So I'm just thinking about all the coaches. Lovie Smith. I mean, there's a lot of defensive coaches out there that are sitting on the bench, sitting on the sideline because they don't understand offense. And do you know who the only coach left that's a defensive coach? That's a defensive minded coach?
Hold on. I've been trying to think about that because let's see, Kansas City, Bills.
Kansas City's offense, San Francisco's offense, Philly's offense, Peterson is offense.
Everybody in the NFC's offense.
And then AFC, go to AFC.
You got Peterson's offense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you got
Buffalo. Isn't Buffalo's guy a defensive guy? I thought he was too.
Sean, what's his name? It's not McDonough. What is it?
McDermott? No, it's
I think he's offense.
What about Dieball for Giants? He's offense, right?
He's from Buffalo.
I thought
They're all offensive-minded coaches.
I thought there was one defensive-minded coach still left.
I don't think so.
Colin Cowherd said there's one defensive guy still left.
If it is, it's the Buffalo.
Look it up. Google. All right, fact checker. We're ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the fact checker.
Sean McDermott. Okay, let's see. I knew Sean McDermott. Okay. Let's see. Da. Okay, come on, Wikipedia. I don't need that profile. Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
Well, son of a gun.
Hey.
Sean McDermott is a defensive guy.
He's the last one left. So to your point, Trevor, to your point, has Josh Allen regressed this season, do you think?
Well, let's bring up a point here before you get to that, okay?
Okay.
And yes, he has.
Okay.
Yes, he has. So here's the interesting point.
Okay.
If the Bills win and the Chiefs win, and I can't believe they didn't say this too much about it, or if they did last year, I don't remember it, okay? Mm-hmm. You know who hired Sean McDermott as his first coaching job?
Andy Reid. Andy Reid?
He was defensive coordinator for Andy Reid 1 year at the Eagles. Well, I'm going to assume that Andy Reid was with the Eagles in 2001, correct?
Yeah. So interesting fact here. Josh Allen regressed. They don't have that great of an offensive line because I'm taking what Colin Cowherd said. I believe I'm not quoting him word for word, but I'm giving you a summation of essentially what he said is that they don't have a running game. And they're not going to kill you with Delvin Cook's little brother. Singletary's a good running back, but he's not dominant. They didn't go out and get a big-time running back when they had the opportunity to. They didn't solidify the offensive line, and as such, Allen has regressed. Has their defense gotten better this year? Absolutely. They invested in their defense in the offseason. However, Here's where I think Colin was going with this, is that with your point, it is more than likely that Buffalo will lose just because he is a defensive-minded coach. And so
I don't buy that.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. I'm just saying, I'm setting it up for you. I'm throwing you the softball so that you can hit it out of the park.
Well, I'm about to hit it out of the park because I'm about to drop knowledge on you and not McDermott, but Cowherd, because Cowherd's a fucking moron. Okay.
Well, most of them.
Remember what are the two things you got to be able to do in the NFL to succeed?
You got to be able to run the ball, and you got to be able to stop the run.
What are the two things Buffalo cannot do this year?
Run the ball or stop the run. Yes.
Okay. Is Josh Allen and the skill set on the players he has enough to make it to the Super Bowl? Absolutely. Can they beat anybody in the playoffs right now? Absolutely. Well, on the flip side of that, can they get beat by anybody in the playoffs right now? Absolutely. Because you look at the teams that are remaining, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm looking at Buffalo and Buffalo wins, I would pray to the good Lord that Kansas City wins. Because I do not want to face Jacksonville.
Okay? I tell you what, flip the coin over. I don't want to play Cincy.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. If they get past them, because where you look at it, if you put it on paper, yes, Allen's more seasoned and has more years than Burrows, okay? But Burrows is a gunslinger and has that bravado, and I hate to say this, but you know what? He's starting to wear on me a little bit. Well, I didn't like him at first, but it's starting to wear on me to where, you know, I like it where a guy comes out there and he does his thing, and you know what? It says, fuck you, NFL, I'm gonna do my thing. Okay. Doesn't go like again, I like Patrick Mahomes, okay? Doesn't do the Patrick Mahomes thing or the Aaron Rodgers thing to where every fucking NFL game we see 15 fucking Patrick Mahomes commercials, okay? I don't want to see that, okay? I get it, okay? He's great, you know, let's market him, okay? Let him throw the fucking football. And I don't think Burrows is
that guy does things with the football that not a lot of quarterbacks can do.
But you're absolutely right. But you know what makes me mad watching the game that say, and I love Tony Romo calling the game, that Tony Romo or one of these other guys calling, oh my God, did you see that throw? Yeah, I saw him make that same throw 4 fucking years ago, and he does it every fucking game that he fucking plays in, okay? Now, when he throws it over the back of his head and he's looking at the opposite goalpost, then start coming to me, okay? We are getting to the point now to where it's oh my God, you see that throw? No, it's, oh my God, why didn't he make a throw? Why didn't he make that throw? He's making throws that he can make. It's like watching Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. Oh, did you see that 490-foot home run? Well, yeah, he hit 50 of them last year.
Yeah, but Trevor, you have to put Mahomes in context with what other quarterbacks have done throwing the ball that he breaks the mold on. His ability to change the position of his arm, his arm mechanics, his ability to throw a no-look pass running out of bounds. I mean, these are things that other quarterbacks have never done. That other quarterbacks, nay, I say, couldn't do.
Well, here's the thing, okay?
I mean, to be able to drop your arm and throw it sidearm and then bring it here and throw 3/4, then take it straight over the top and go straight overhand, and then to see a play. I mean, there are times, and I hate saying this because I'm not a huge Mahomes fan, but I respect his game. The dude plays. There are times where you see him do things where you're like, dude's playing on a playground and everybody else out there are boys, and he's the man.
Well, and I get that, and I understand. You know how I am. We've had this discussion for years, okay? And it's nothing against Brady. It's not against Mahomes. It's not against Aaron Rodgers. What gets me is everybody gets on it, and I get it. This is why I don't like watching football, the commentators. This is why I like listening to the radio guys, because the radio guys have to paint you a picture, okay? Yep. The radio guys, they're talking about what? The damn fucking football game that's on in front of them. Yeah. Guys on TV, they're talking about the football game and then all this other stuff and breaking it down. I was like, look, dude, you don't need to tell me that. I can see it with my eyes.
Why is it we can't get somebody like Madden
it's a script
just to go, here's what's happening, here's this, and this is why it is. Bam. That's it.
And the thing is, too, is you got to be like that because you got to get people, you want eyes in front of the TV, so you got to be entertaining. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to be entertaining. And I get all that, okay? But you know what? Let's put it as it is, okay? and this is something, you know, with the chaos that my college team went through last year. Okay, and Bob Stoops said this, and it goes through all sports, and I've been saying this forever. He goes, look, one man is not bigger than the program. A coach does not make this program. A player does not make this program. You know, one player does not make it. I didn't make it. They didn't make it. Those guys didn't make it. You guys make it. What makes this program good is the football players. What makes the football team good is the football team, not Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes was all great, guess what? He'd have won all 4 Super Bowls that he's played in, you know, the 4 years he's been, okay? Now, I'm not taking anything away from him, okay? My grind is everybody puts all this on him, and I get it, but you know what? There's other guys on that field, okay? Patrick Mahomes is great making those throws and doing all that. And you're right, because we said the same thing about Michael Vick. We said the same thing about Dan Marino. Okay, we said the same thing about Peyton Manning. Every 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, you see somebody come up and they do something different. Okay, and I'm not taking away from the skill set away from him. Why does Patrick? Look, guys, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why Patrick Mahomes does this. Okay.
Yeah, but he's also in a perfect storm with the fact that he got probably one of the greatest offensive minds in the last 20 years.
I think Patrick Mahomes
next to him.
I think Patrick Mahomes is not Patrick Mahomes that we know right now if he's with any other coach other than Andy Reid.
All right, so we got 10 minutes left. We're on our timer. So we're gonna hit our looking live segment up. And so our games this weekend are as follow. We've got first game Saturday, 3:30 Eastern time.
Well, we know it's an AFC game. We know it's the AFC games because, you know, we got to put the fucking NFC East teams on
prime. Bias. It's the market. It's the market. Poor Trevor, calm your heart. It's the market. So 3:30, you are looking live at Government Employee Healthcare something field at Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City. Here's going to be the interesting thing. 36 degrees with light snow. Wind out of the southeast at 4 miles per hour. We've got Kansas City as minus 8.5 at home. They are the favorite at minus 8.5. Who are you picking?
Do I get to 8.5?
No.
Straight up, Kansas City.
All right.
If you're giving me 8.5, I'm taking Jacksonville.
I'm taking Kansas City straight up as well. Next game is an NFC East game.
I think we should write these down so we remember this time.
Saturday, the late game, 7:15 p.m. on Fox. You are looking live at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. 40 degrees, partly cloudy, wind 4 miles per hour straight out of the west. We've got Philly at home as 7.5 point favorites at home. Who are you going with?
You know what? I hate it because it's the NFC East teams. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm going with the New York Giants.
All right, put me down going opposite of you. I'm taking Philly. So I'm going chalk on that day, just doing chalk. All right, big game on Sunday afternoon, probably going to be the best game of the weekend, I would assume. Cincinnati going into Buffalo. You're looking live at Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park. 37 degrees, overcast with winds 5 miles per hour out of the northwest. So it's going to be brisk. You got Buffalo at minus 5.5 at home against Cincy.
Your turn to pick first.
I know what my heart is telling me, but my brother would kill me if I went against him. My boy Levy would be like, "What are you doing?" I'm going with Buffalo. I'm going to take. Hey, let's go, Buffalo. Wow. Let's go, Buffalo. So I take it.
Who dat?
You're taking Cincy. Okie dokie. Final game, Sunday night, 5:30 p.m. Kickoff, Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California. A beautiful day at a 57 degrees, partly cloudy, winds 4 miles an hour with a southerly breeze. You got San Francisco at home. Listen to this line, -4. That's the smallest line of the weekend. That's a small line. They don't have San Fran going big on this. I'm taking San Fran, buddy. Taking them. Go Frisco. Are you
Fuck the Cowboys.
Fuck the Cowgirls. God, they're the worst. They're the worst.
If
All right,
you
so
ever
that's
see
our
me
picks.
picking the Cowboys, you better fucking call the hospital.
Oh, God. Just imagine if the Cowboys win. Oh, my Lord. NFL Network will have every previous Cowboy who's ever played on their network, and it'll be the Cowboy Network. ESPN will be the Cowboy Network. You'll have Dion, Michael, Johnson.
I wouldn't even be able to watch the NFL Network because then I have to look at fucking Michael Irvin, and he'll be even more over top than he already fucking is.
It's going to be Michael Irvin. They'll have Dion. They'll have Moose. They'll have Emmett. They won't
have Dion. Dion's busy with another job, man.
I can't. I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of it because this is their first road win in the playoffs in 30 years. In 30 years, the Dallas Cowboys haven't been relevant for 30 years. They finally get a road playoff win. And it's just like, oh my God, we're gonna have to listen to this for the next 30 years.
And you know who was their last road win?
Who? Was it Tampa?
The last time the Dallas Cowboys won a playoff game on the road, 1993.
And
you know who it was?
Tampa? Who? Was it us?
San Francisco.
Oh, hell. Of course. Like you said, the stars are aligning. It's what everybody in the system wants. They want the Cowgirls because, we want them to be relevant. Then we can have the Cowboys out there in force and all of their fans, and they'll be happy. We'll have no more Cowboy crying fans. I don't really care. I just hope they don't win. I think we got about 3 or 4 minutes left.
At this point, I really don't care. I can be okay with any team out of the 8 teams remaining. I'm okay with any team winning the Super Bowl except one.
Who was that?
And that's them fucking assholes we were just talking about.
Oh, wow.
Kansas City is a close second, okay?
Actually, I don't mind Kansas City fans. I don't.
No, it's not the fans. It's having to listen, then talk about Patrick Mahomes, and we're gonna go right from Tom Brady to talk about, oh my God, Tom Brady's this and all that. Then it's gonna be Patrick Mahomes.
But just to reiterate, Mahomes at least has a reason to be talked about. He's been in the AFC Championship game the last 4 years. The Cowboys haven't been in an NFC Championship game.
I agree.
They haven't been relevant. But every fucking year, what's on the NFL Network at the beginning of the year? We're going to Cowboy camp in California. They get to go off early. We're calling it now, July 20th. Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl. And all of the reporters, all of the announcers, and look, there are times where the NFL Network should just be called the Dallas Cowboys Network. Because
you know what would make this so much sweeter, Kevin? The Cowboys beat the Niners on a last-second field goal. We get all the hype and get all that, okay? And then they play either the Eagles or the Giants, and they split right there. Did they split with the Eagles? Did they split with the Giants too?
I think so. I don't know. I don't think so. Now that I think about it, I don't think.
And you know what would do my heart so good? Because again, I don't want to see Dallas in the Super Bowl at all. Okay,
No.
It would do my heart good that they beat the Niners. Okay, say they even beat the Niners like they beat Tampa Bay, and then we get that hot train. Oh, they're They're in the NFC Championship game for the first time, whatever, and a absolutely freaking epic beatdown. Okay, like the last overrated team that come out of Dallas,
Yeah.
running to the buzzsaw called the Georgia Bulldogs,
Yep.
and got their ass handed to them. Okay,
Yep.
and watch the Giants or the Eagles just absolutely beat that ass.
Okay, so coming up on the end of our second podcast, we had 1A and 1B. So coming up on the final couple of seconds here. So just want to say thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you spread the word. Lock and Key. He's Lock, I'm Key, and we're here for the experiment that is fan-based football talk for fans.
For now, then we talk about other shit.
Yeah, and then we'll get into the other shit later. All right. Peace out. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Later.
Yep.